So I've had two very interesting cases come up this week, and every now and again these things come up. Separate cases, unrelated. People have discovered that a news article has gone up or something at the top of Google which displays them in some bad light. So something that they may have done, may not have done. Essentially, when their brand or their name gets Googled, this article's at the top, or this mention of them is at the top that they do not want. So they want to take it down. A lot of the time, there's not much that can be done to take it down aside from just legal action, and that's not something I can comment on. But what a lot of the time can be done is some basic SEO strategies where simply list things and give Google more things to place at the top to push those negative things down the bottom. Over the years, I've studied lots of SEO case studies, and there's a few scenarios where in Europe and in all around the world, there's moments where they've published hundreds of articles about a certain topic to promote a certain topic. Let's say it's wind farms, right? To say wind farms are good, and hey, all the good stuff was at the top and all the bad stuff was at the bottom. So same with this. If something comes up and you want to push it further down the page, it might be a competitor, it might be a news article, it might be something that you just want to push down the page, you need to have things above that. So it could mean optimize your Facebook page to be more keyword centric on your brand or your name or whatever it is, that term that you want to show up for. It can also be, it was a funny suggestion, but make a whole bunch of stories where the main title is that name or that keyword, right? The H1, the H2, which are the larger, more dominant titles of the page, are also that title. So in other words, give Google more content to potentially place at the top. Send some backlinks to those pieces of content to show Google that those blogs, those articles, whatever they are important, and that potentially will push those unwanted pages down and further. So in a nutshell, make things and pages and websites that target a certain keyword, place them at the top of Google and push things that you don't want to show up for further down the page. I hope that makes sense. And so look, everybody knows that if you want to hide a dead body, you hide it on page 2 of Google, because no one clicks on page 2 of Google. Yeah, plenty of ways to skin a cat. Other cases is when someone shares your same name as you, and they've done something, or that name has shown up for odd reasons, or a similar brand name. And what we've done in the past is we've created fictional stories about that name. Could be a Formula One racing driver. That name could be a horse in a horse race that came second in 9th position after prehistoric kindergarten. So any kind of story can go up, and if you create 50 of these articles for that one exact name in all sorts of weird scenarios, whether it's a spaceship driver or a AFL player wannabe childcare centre, you name the keyword, that will throw a whole bunch of articles into the Google index. And what that might do, that might saturate and lessen the chance of someone finding that article. Even though that article wasn't about, and the person was concerned because it's a similar name, it's exactly the same spelling. So he didn't want that shown up, even though it wasn't even about him. It was about some other dude in another country. But it was getting some engagement, and this was the suggestion and the plan of action to swarm Google with pages and things to display for that name, pushing it further down the page. Sometimes it might be a comment that someone left on a forum, and for some reason that comment is just hogging at the top of Google for your brand and undesired key terms. Same sort of scenario. we can grab some Google reviews, some truthful reviews, some Facebook reviews, and simply go and make a whole bunch of pages which list those reviews. Once again, swarming the internet and Google's index with positive reviews, and making sure that those pages are targeting similar key terms as the comments, the negative comments that are haunting you, and then letting that marinate. And what happens is the negative stuff gets pushed further down the page as we perform SEO tasks to make sure what we want goes to the top of Google. Now, it's not just Google, it's Bing, it's Yahoo, it's all of the search engines that essentially copy what Google does most of the time. So in a nutshell, what we're talking about is getting things to show up higher in Google and performing SEO tasks that basically pleasing the Google gods. Google is a robot, Google is smart, Google can also be quite dumb. If you present things to Google on a silver platter with a red carpet, fast, responsive website with the correct titles, with schema markup, prove to Google that you are trustworthy on the topic, lots of high quality blogs, lots of high quality backlinks and mentions from other websites. Present the things that Google wants to see, the things that Google trusts websites with, and your website will begin to go up on your desired key terms. An example of this was a private school that we look after, and all of a sudden there was some odd reviews that popped up coming from international sites. We contacted those sites, and a lot of the time that you won't get a response. But what we did, we built pages on our other websites. We built pages on the school website, which targeted those key terms that we wanted to show our positive light articles for. And so what that did is it pushed the negative stuff further down the page to page 2 and 3 of Google, and it displayed all of our positive reviews at the top of Google.